Hi foodies, if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, then you know I have some pizza recipes on here already. But this time I wanted to make my crust a little different, a little more tender and fluffy and thicker with a crispy bottom. So that's what I did this time. Let's get into this delicious pizza. Now another thing I'm going to be doing different this time, guys, is I'm going to be using my mixer. So I just added the warm water, then I'm going to go in with the yeast. And what we need to do is add a little bit of sugar. This is gonna be, for flavor, but it also works well with the yeast, of course. So you'll notice that some bubbles start to come up, but we're gonna stir that together. Once you stir it up, you can let it sit for about 5 minutes. And once you realize that your yeast is good, then we can go in and mix everything. Now for the dry ingredients, I have bread flour, also some salt and garlic powder. I'll be adding some Italian seasoning as well. You can add based on the salt content. If you know it's really salty, then just be careful of how much salt you use, okay? In my previous videos, I used my hands. I did not use a mixer. This time I'm using my dough hook or dough arm, so it is a little bit easier. What I have in there is the sugar, the water, the yeast, right? And then I'm adding some olive oil. What we need to do now is go in with our flour mixture, okay? I did add a little extra olive oil, so you'll see that here. Once that's mixed in, then we can go ahead and add the flour mixture slowly. So slowly mix this in for about 45 seconds. So that's the flour, added a little at a time, mix it in for about 45 seconds, then you can speed it up and continue to add the flour until the dough comes together really easily. So once the dough comes together, flour your surface so it doesn't stick, and then we just need to knead the dough until it is smooth. Now the more you knead the dough, then the more chewy your crust will be. Some people like to knead a lot, but you really just need to knead this until it is smooth. Please remember, guys, all the ingredient details are in the description box below the video. Just click on that down arrow beside the video title and it will open up the description box. Once the dough is smooth enough for me, then I just brush on some olive oil all over because we're going to allow this to sit and it's going to expand. It's going to about double in size. So you want to just brush on the olive oil so a crust doesn't form on there. It doesn't dry out. So brush it all over with olive oil. I've greased this bowl as well with some olive oil. We're just going to cover this and let it sit for about an hour in a warm area. Not hot, not cold, but warm. Okay? So let this sit for about an hour and it will expand. After that hour, all we need to do is just punch this down just to release some of that excess air that's in there. So just punch it down. Do not turn your fist. Just punch right down into the dough. That excess gas is out of there, so we just need to take it out of the bowl and we're gonna just put it on this floured surface again. Now if you want it to be super thin, you're gonna have to cut this in half and do 2 small pizzas. I'm just gonna do 1 big one with a thick crust. So this is how I get my my circle. All right, so I just press on the outer part of the circle, just keep pressing and then moving inwards until the whole thing is on one level. Or you could just use a rolling pin or a clean wine bottle. Use what you have at home, hands or rolling pin or a clean bottle, okay? So you just need to roll this out and then we're gonna get this on our pizza pan. So after you've used whatever method you want to stretch that pizza dough, then you just sprinkle some cornmeal on the pizza pan or use whatever you like to use to bake your pizza. You could use a stone, right? Then just lay that dough on there, and I'm just flattening out those edges. That's it. We are good to go. This is gonna be on the thicker side, guys. Remember I said that. So if you want it to be super thin, you can use a larger pan and roll it out even thinner, or you could cut this in two and make two thin crust small pizzas. What I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to brush some olive oil all over the pizza dough just to help that help to prevent the tomato sauce from seeping into the dough and making it soggy. And you know what? The edges are even prettier when you use that olive oil, nice and golden. I add olive oil now, and I even add olive oil later when the pizza is done. So brush on that, and then I'm pricking it with the fork just to prevent, those huge bubbles that you sometimes see pop up in your pizza once you get it. So pricking it, and then we're gonna put on that pizza sauce. Usually I have pizza sauce in the freezer, so whether it's bought or homemade, I just store it in the freezer and then I thaw it out if I need to. I might heat it up on the stove just to reduce it a bit. So add your pizza sauce and then add your cheese, of course. And if you want just a cheese pizza, that's fine. Or you could go in with your veggies, your meat, your poultry, whatever you want. I'm doing a very simple topping today, guys. I have my cheese, and then I'm going to add some cooked diced bacon, and then I'm going to add some diced Italian meatballs. So this is the bacon. Then I'm going to go in with these diced meatballs. If you want to top this off with more cheese, you can. This is going in the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. And here we are, guys, our beautiful homemade pizza. You can check on your pizza at around 12 minutes just to make sure it doesn't burn. But I find that 14 to 15 minutes is definitely great. You want the crust to be golden and the cheese is supposed to be nicely melted. But that's it. I brush on some olive oil right around those edges and it is good to go. You can add some crushed peppers if you want to. Add whatever you like. I'll let you guys see the crust. It's crispy on the bottom, but then the crust itself, it is light and it is thicker. It is so fluffy and tender and so flavorful because of that Italian seasoning. And look at that cheese. Amazing. Of course, you can add more toppings if you want, guys, but this was just so good. Let me know how it works out for you once you try it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.